the Holy Gospel according to Matthew. At that time, Jesus was led by the Spirit into the desert to be tempted by the devil. He fasted for 40 days and 40 nights, and afterwards he was hungry. The tempter approached and said to him, "If you are the Son of God, command that these stones become loaves of bread." He said in reply, "It is written, one does not live on bread alone, but on every word that comes forth from the mouth of God." Then the devil took him to the holy city and made him stand at the parapet of the temple and said to him, "If you are the Son of God, throw yourself down, for it is written, He will command His angels concerning you, and with their hands they will support you, lest you dash your foot against a stone." Jesus answered him, "Again, it is written, you shall not put the Lord your God to the test." Then the devil took him up to the very high mountain and showed him all the kingdoms of the world in their magnificence. And he said to him, "All of these I shall give to you, if you will prostrate yourself and worship me." At this Jesus said to him, "Get away, Satan. It is written, the Lord your God shall you worship, and Him alone shall you serve." Then the devil left him, and behold, angels came and ministered to him. In this gospel passage, Jesus was led by the Spirit into the desert and fasted for 40 days and 40 nights. There he emptied himself before the Lord, and he was hungry, and he was vulnerable. And so the devil quickly strikes, and he offers Jesus 3 worldly temptations. Yet Jesus resisted, for he was not hungry for the passing things of this world. Jesus was able to overcome each temptation because of his relationship with God. Jesus and the Father were one. They were united in their love for each other. You know, our life is no different than Jesus, for each day we are faced with temptations. Temptations we might not even be aware of. For many, our society tempts us into believing that we can be the center of our own universe, that our needs and desires are utmost important, that the end justifies the means. We are tempted by Madison Avenue to believe that we can be forever young, and that by spending thousands and thousands of dollars on beauty products and services, we can find real happiness in our ability to look outwardly beautiful. We are tempted in our culture to believe that we must be painfully thin, or we are unworthy of someone's love. Like the third temptation of Jesus, so many of us are tempted each day for the desire for power, wealth, greed, prestigious honors and glory, to have the kingdoms of the world and their magnificence at our disposal. All of this fame achieved most likely at the expense of another. So much of our news and media coverage encourages us to get ahead no matter what the cost. Entertainment, TV, movies, videos resonate a world where people lie and cheat just to get ahead, and they do it with great seduction and drama. We are tempted in our society each day to anesthetize the wounds that we carry by overeating, by drinking, by recreational drugs. All of these temptations that we've mentioned serve to satisfy our own selfish desires, and not that of God and another. The reality of life is that we cannot escape temptations, for these are part and parcel of our human condition. But what we can do is work to overcome them, like Jesus did in the desert. But how do we do that? We are serious about overcoming the temptation of sin and selfish desires. One way for us is to change the way we relate to God. You know, since we were children, we've been taught that we are to love God with our whole mind and our whole heart. Well, that's a cerebral image, kind of sits up here, and it's kind of like oil sitting on the top of water. It doesn't go deep into our souls, it doesn't permeate our bones. But this Lent, if we are serious about transforming ourselves, then we must strive to be in love with God. We must kick our relationship with God into action. For if we are in love with God, then God will become someone very real to us, not just an image, not someone far away that we pray to, but someone that we live with each and every single day, someone we take with us wherever we go. Think for a moment about the person that you love the most. Do you get up every day and say, you know what, I can't wait to hurt this person? Absolutely not. We would never hurt someone that we are in love with. We do because we're human, but when we do, we apologize and we try again because we are sensitive to the needs of the person that we are in love with. We try to create a good balance. Once we begin to cultivate a real loving relationship with the Lord, then our pattern of behavior will begin to reflect this loving relationship. We will begin to gain clarity on our actions, our bad habits, because we will not want to hurt God, the one that we are in love with. You know, sin is very seductive. It comes at us through the people, places, and things that we enjoy the most in life. Sin is not like a little black mark on your soul where you erase it, but it's rather a ripping away, a tearing away of our relationship with God. Through the spiritual disciplines of prayer, almsgiving, and fasting, we can begin to build a living, loving relationship with God, one that is based on trust, love, and mercy. And when we do, even our littlest sins will begin to take on new meaning, and we will make a conscious decision to change our lives so as not to hurt the one we love. Once we begin to cultivate that loving relationship with Jesus that's based on mutual trust and love, we, like Jesus in the gospel story, will be able to overcome our temptations as they come our way. Why? Because our heart and mind will be united with God. Our souls will rest in the tranquil bond of our loving relationship. This Lent, we are indeed called to almsgiving, fasting, and prayer. But the ultimate goal of these spiritual disciplines is to change our hearts, to change our attitude, to change our behavior toward God, so that we can fall madly and deeply in love with Jesus. And then we will be able to overcome sin and temptation. So that the next time someone asks you to imagine who is the person that you love the most, it will be Jesus that comes to mind. For it is written, you shall love the Lord your God with your whole heart and soul. You shall worship him, and him alone shall you serve. May this Lenten season be one where you fall madly and deeply in love with Jesus. God bless you.